If you've ever doodled in the margins of your homework like I have far too many times, then you should know that this action of yours displays what we fancy boots call creativity. So, what is creativity? Is it this fan art I drew 4 years ago? Or this meme compilation someone made? Or was it the way I started this project? Not being biased, but probably. The definition of creativity from the Merriam-Webster dictionary says that creativity means being creative, and that being creative means having the quality of something created rather than imitated. But I think being inspired to make something, and then making it, allows one to feel and be creative. Everyone grabs inspiration from everyone and everything else, even from nature. Oh wait, if you draw a leaf and call it your own idea, would you be plagiarizing the earth? That's an objective to answer another day. So now, if creativity means making something with your imagination, then our definition is a lot broader and can include things like this show, RWBY, which incorporates many fairy tales and stories like Little Red Riding Hood, Snow White, Beauty and the Beast, and Goldilocks. These characters are based off of ideas which aren't original to the show, but are included in an imaginative way and are thus creative. Plenty of things people have made are not necessarily original, but should be noted as being creative. Making something into a movie or video isn't original, but how you go about it can be, and no matter what, you can rest assured that your work is creative. Don't forget to give credit, of course, to ideas you borrowed or jumped around from. This hit YouTube series in particular, Sword Art Online Abridged, is a good example of being creative while borrowing from others. The Abridged series simply takes the footage of the original show SAO, mutes it, and reworks some of the animation in the scenes, like mouths moving, to fit new dialogue. Any sounds, music, and voices you hear are added in by the abridgers over the muted video, so that one can take a scene like this and turn it into this.
Begin! Get up to rock, get up to burn, stand with the pride and burn for your desire.
SAO Abridged takes creative liberties with dialogue and character interaction to add comedy and interesting development while still carrying forward the original show's plot.
Finish it! Don't be afraid to look yourself in the eye. Sing my song if that's my heart beating you. Flawless victory! Fatality!
It even manages to turn an arguably stale piece of bread protagonist into a living, breathing person. Not to harp on the original show, but I for one am glad that such a fun and intriguing version of SAO was born from it. They made it watchable. Creativity is something everyone has, and making things allows us to express ourselves in ways that may be subtly or drastically different. This essay challenged all of us to make something that addressed the topics and wasn't a traditional essay, and many of us who voiced our ideas last class arrived at different approaches to the project. Are these approaches original? Maybe not, maybe some are, but they're all still creative. If you had made an essay for this project, even though you might get an F, it would still be creative in my book because you made something. Now that we know what creativity means, let's tackle our next objective. What are writers and artists most interested in? I'm going to be real here as a fellow writer and artiste. I'm personally most interested in the weird shadow at the edge of my vision that always disappears when I try to look at it. Also, I want to improve every aspect of my skills and get my ideas out there. My style with lines, my style with words, how much I procrastinate, etc. Oh wait, I don't want to improve that last one. No, I firmly believe that every artist and writer is in some way unsatisfied with what they're doing, whether it's not being able to shade something, not being able to get a theme across the right way, or not doing enough of it. The instructor of my painting class is a professional painter, and he also can't seem to get enough of painting, like his perfect masterpiece is always one canvas away. And it isn't that he won't acknowledge his ability, it's simply his drive to keep moving forward that many creative people feel. Keep moving forward happens to be a motto for not only this awesome family, but the creator of RWBY himself. The late Monty began as an animator who practiced his skills so much, he was eventually hired by Rooster Teeth. The company hired him so he could contribute his amazing style of animation to their Halo-inspired show, Red vs. Blue. After working there for a couple years, Ohm had a dream about 4 colors: red, white, black, and yellow. He immediately kindled this flame into a project and knew right away that he wanted it to be about 4 girls who were outstanding fighters. When he pitched the idea to his company, they decided to let him sit on it for a while they continued the 10th season of Red vs. Blue. After the season finale, Ohm began animating what would become RWBY, which aired a year later in 2013. According to his colleagues, Ohm was a working machine. He would go long hours animating, designing, or writing for his dream show, even sleeping under his desk at work to wake up a few hours later and continue. Monty Ohm was the embodiment of what it means to be a creator. Each of us has ideas, and if we let them take hold, we can be driven to pursue them at our own pace. Ohm's pace, evidently, was closer to the speed of light. His goal was to always keep making things, and he would be very excited about ending projects so that he could start the next one. He always struggled with how quickly time passes and felt that time was the only limitation people have when it comes to creating. Unfortunately, time isn't. Ohm passed away in 2015 after going into a coma from a severe allergic reaction during a medical procedure. His dream, however, lives on. His show about 4 incredible fighters, who each have their own color and style, continues to be produced and aired by Rooster Teeth. It took some recovery and some discussion, but as his friends and colleagues, they knew exactly what he would have said for the future of RWBY. Keep moving forward. Improving skills and getting ideas out there are just a few goals creators share, and another happens to be just that, to share. Ideas, jokes, memes, important events, a dream, all of these are things creators want to make and share so that others can experience them. This piece, titled Poach, was made by Jasmine and holds incredible power. Her use of color and mirror imagery, and even horror, gives us a message. Continue to drive this animal to extinction, and you may find yourself constructing it to help its ecosystem in the future. Clearly, she's not encouraging this to happen. Just like how the rhinoceroses are connected, so are we to this earth and to them, and our impact can be devastating. Many influential works don't simply take us away from the world. They throw us right into the middle of it, into the thick of our worst nightmares, which are often centered around ourselves.
It's Julie!
If the monster behind every mask is a human, then according to Scooby-Doo, the real monsters are people. The creators behind this show probably want us to sit up and listen to that theory. And that way of thinking isn't new or original either, but just because something gets used a lot doesn't mean it can't support what it's being used for.
You'll be going off to combat soon. It's important that you be prepared for anything.
Yep, that's the gang. You're probably wondering how they got into that situation. The combination of creativity and the goals that drive creators makes for a wonderful recipe of inspiration. I think that, deep down, the biggest thing artists and writers are interested in is to inspire and be inspired.